Hi, this is Rand from Randmockguitars. Thank you for joining me in my fourth episode of the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2022. So we have a lot of ground to cover in this episode. We're going to do the final carve on the guitar. We're also going to do a mock-up, so we should get a preview of what the guitar is going to look like when it's all said and done. But before we get to that, we have a lot of work to do. So we tend to focus a lot on the woodworking aspects of building a guitar. And it makes sense, right? Because it's fun to watch and really fun to do. But an electric guitar is much more than just the wood. It's got a lot of metal pieces. It's got electrical wiring, knobs, switches, tuners, bridge pieces. All these things have to be precisely placed, and they make a huge difference to how a guitar sounds, how it plays, how it intonates. I was tempted to kind of sort of gloss this part over. But I figured I'd make a little montage of all the little steps that have to be done to get that guitar to play the way you want it to. What'll be a montage of about 2 or 3 minutes to you is going to represent about 2 weeks worth of work on this end. So let's get started. So I know watching someone drill 100 holes is not exactly the most exciting thing to watch, but stick with me here, because I think by the time this is all said and done, you're really going to like how this whole thing turns out by the end of this episode. So it's definitely the dog days of summer, and I don't have an AC in my workshop. So this definitely dragged on a bit longer than it should have. So as I was working on this stuff, dreaming of being in the AC with an ice cold beer. Well, I did have an ice cold beer, I just didn't have the AC. So it got me thinking about how we present this stuff on social media. You would think that it's always fun, but sometimes you just gotta hunker down and get to work. You gotta embrace the suck. We always start off with this huge inspiration, this huge headwind, right? Maybe you want to lose weight and get back in shape, or maybe you're a student who wants to start college, or you're a songwriter, right? And you start off and you're really inspired in the beginning, and it's fantastic, and you have a lot of energy and a lot of motivation. But somewhere along the way, you're just waking up for classes for the second year in a row, or you have to re-edit that article for the 5th time, or remix that song for the 7th time. At some point it just becomes work. I would go so far as to say that if you never feel that it's work, you may not be challenging yourself enough. I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been going through one of those phases in which nothing that I do I'm happy with. Nothing seems to be good enough. And if there are any newbies out there, and you're working on your first guitar, or you're working on your first kick guitar, and you're getting frustrated, it gets better with every build. Just don't give up. Or I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting and just talking to myself. So having said all that, maybe not having an air conditioner actually worked out to my advantage. Having to take so many breaks, I would come back in and I'd be more focused. And I found that I made less mistakes than I normally would have. So maybe I need to slow my roll and slow down a bit. So with all that work behind us, we get to the most pleasurable part of building a guitar. This, along with carving out a neck, is my favorite. And if anything, this is actually even more enjoyable because you know, this is completely creative. This is just a matter of taste and style. I guess it's just a lot less pressure. Anyway, it's all pretty self-explanatory, so enjoy. So in spite of what I said earlier, I was really happy with the way this neck joint turned out. It wasn't the original intention of how this was supposed to meet together, but I actually liked it better, and I'm really happy with it. So this is by no means the final sanding or the last of the shaping. We're about 95% of the way there though. The remaining 5% will be done when we're ready to get this guitar finished. So as I assembled this thing, I wanted to say thank you again for the views, for the likes, and the subscribes. It's really, really cool. If you like what you see, check out the earlier videos. I'll link to some of them at the end. And otherwise, have a great summer, everyone. Thank you so much again. And next episode should be where I try to do an artwork and put the finish on this thing. And since I'm not an artist, that should be that should be fun to watch. Anyway. Peace out, everyone.